Good afternoon. Welcome to Sunday Stock Talk with Lisa J. Stocks and Prez the Investor. How are you, Prez?
I'm doing fine, Miss Lisa. How are you?
I'd be better. I'd be better if it wasn't a Miss Lisa day. Man, I can't. I so when I was able to send you and Robert that message and say I made it through a show without getting called Lisa J or Miss Lisa,
Uh-huh.
I guess today's not a day that I'll be able to send that message to anyone. Okay. But hi, Sheed. Thanks to everyone who is already tuning in on both of our sides. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to both of our channels. Prez's link will be in my description, and I will drop it um, in the chat. And Prez, if you could please do the same for me in case you are not already subscribed to our channels. So we've had a very exciting week, a very eventful week. So, Prez, you want to talk a little bit about the topic of the day and what your thoughts are?
Today we're going to be talking about staying motivated and growing wealth during these times in the market. As we all know, I'm going to roll straight into point number one that Bitcoin has made new all-time highs. We're currently trading over $80,000 per coin. That goes to show if you have been dollar cost averaging into it regularly, small amounts, you would be considerably in profit right now. And this is all due to the election results. America has spoken, they chose who they wanted in office, and we just got to roll with it. It doesn't matter what your personal preference was. We're here to make money at the end of the day, and we're here to potentially break this poverty cycle a lot of us and our families have been going through for so long. So never mind who's in office. Let's capitalize on it in this capitalist society and make money.
Most definitely. And listen, I've been saying all week, whether if you, I used Uncle Larry yesterday to tell the people, if your portfolio is not up, you have been doing something horribly wrong. Everybody
Mhm.
should be, if you are investing, in the best position that you have ever been in life. So, Bitcoin, I did a video on Friday. Bitcoin was 77,000. And last night, I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning, but after midnight, Bitcoin was at 79,000. Before I got my first cup of coffee today, Bitcoin was at 80,000. It's just on fire. I'm glad
On
that I've
fire.
been dollar cost averaging, like you said, into the blue chip stocks, into Bitcoin, over, I don't know, over these last few years. For me, it's not an overnight kind of a thing. I've been building and really focusing on investing. And I'll tell you, it, when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum are the main cryptocurrencies that I invest into. I think you have Solana. What else is a main crypto investment on your end, Press?
Just those three. I have my eyes on Casper, but it's not available on Coinbase yet, and I don't want to pay the taxes and fees buying it on another exchange. So I'm just waiting right now.
So if you are, I would say, kind of a an investor that's investing into the basic things, the most mainstream uh, crypto is Bitcoin. Then when it comes to the indices, if you have exposure to the S&P 500 through your ETF, then if you're investing into those individual tech stocks, so many of them had hit all-time highs last week. And this is why I'm saying that your portfolio should be going in the right direction. But even though we had this terrific week, more, I think, since 2022, these last few days post election have been the best days on the stock market. And
Mhm.
for Bitcoin, it's all time highs, and several of the mainstream top Fortune 500 tech stocks also all time highs. But I don't want that to hold you back, and don't ever feel like it's too late to get started, like the market has passed, you need buy or anything like that, because you know what? If me and Prez keep on going with our show, what we will be saying on our show in 2026 or 2027, maybe the same exact things that we are saying today. We are happy to see the growth and where we're at currently, but there's room. There's It's going to continue. It's going to continue, and I don't care how many all-time highs hit. Guess what's going to happen in the future? New all-time highs.
Mm-hmm.
So stay focused with your investing. If you're not already invested, um,
The
you know,
market is passing you by. The
I
market is passing you by. The longer you wait, time is not on your side.
Okay. So, Prez, what else? Does anybody have anything to share? How is your Bitcoin position looking? Let me take a quick look and actually tell you what percentage I'm currently up when it comes to my Bitcoin. I'm currently up 72.56%. And
I'm at
we're
about 63%.
okay. And right now, as of the time that we are recording or streaming, Bitcoin is 79,685. So yeah.
It got as high as 81.
Okay.
Let me
81.
double check.
I didn't see that it hit 81.
Yeah,
I
it
saw
got as high
80.
as 81. And it's just starting to pull back now. It's starting to cool off just a little bit. Good
So
time
I'm
to add to your position if you're already in. Like, ain't no sense of saying to yourself, I don't want to mess up my average or anything like that. Do you own a whole Bitcoin yet? Do you own 10? No. So why stop? Keep going. I see a question in the chat. How do you guys do a cold storage for Bitcoin, by the way? Right now, I'm personally using the Tangem. It looks like a credit card. That's Tangem. And I'm thinking about upgrading to the Ledger. It's a little bit more pricier, but I've been hearing reading a lot of great reviews about the Ledger. There's nothing wrong with the Tangem. I just want to upgrade. I feel as though I owe it to myself too. I deserve to upgrade. A nice little pretty cold storage instead of something that looks like a credit card. But when you purchase the Tangent wallet, you get 3 of them. It's like 3 sets of house keys. So that way, if you lose one, you still have the other 2.
okay. So, guys, I did a video completely on Bitcoin recently on the I know that projections, there's no guarantee of it, but take a look at it if you want to see what analysts say as far as Bitcoin will go, and just to hear about some of the large corporations that are now starting to, if they have not already, started to use have Bitcoin as an asset on their books, and really it really opened my eyes and my mind to the potential. I was already investing into Bitcoin, but seeing where it's going now, and with the seeing what happens post-election, I'm really looking forward to seeing the potential of where we're at this time around in 2025. So let's see. Anything else you want to highlight in the chat? Hello, everyone. We just got really into our topic quickly. Thank you, Peachy and Jaleel, Eddie. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
I'm trying to think, was there anything else that I needed to add to the cold storage thing? Now, what I do as far as sending it to the actual cold storage is an option inside of your whatever app that you're using, unless you're using one of the something like Robinhood or something. I'm not sure if you can transfer crypto off of that exchange or Webull Pay or anything like that. But if you're using Coinbase or Crypto.com or one of those main crypto exchanges, then you are able to transfer. That will be the option that you click on, transfer or withdraw, and then you just simply enter in your wallet address and click send. You may have to pay a small fee, but at least you know you own your actual crypto assets versus you trusting it, leaving it on the exchange.
Okay. So, yeah. Uh, Prez answered the question that was in the chat. Prez uses that. He has his on a cold storage. I do not. I currently hold all of my Bitcoin investment on Webull Pay as well as my Ethereum. So it's there. But if you are of the mindset that that is needed, thank you for that information, Prez. I might nudge you to make a little community page post or something with those details for those who are interested and feel that need for that extra security. Okay. So are we ready to go on to point 2? Does anybody have any comments? Does anybody want to share about where their crypto holdings are looking? What, I also want to talk a little bit about on in the topic of crypto. I think I'm going to really be checking out, exploring, doing some more trades right now of the crypto miners with the movement on Bitcoin, because my Bitcoin I'm holding as an investment, but the trades can be a way for me to make some money in the short term because of the way that Bitcoin is currently moving. And I mentioned in my video that I did at the end of the week that 6 new coins are added to Webull if you do trades there. Just for it's more convenient for me. I know, Prez, do you do any trades or anything of crypto on Webull, or do you do all those on Coinbase?
I use them all on Coinbase. I have a Webull Pay account, but I don't have anything on it. I've never used it.
Just makes it a little easier for me because, I have a Coinbase account, but I have more money. Like, you have to fund each one of the accounts. I like to have the flexibility and I want to be ready, but sometimes I don't have the mindset to say, let me have a lot of money sitting on Moomoo as well as Webull. That's why I wind up having to do my options trades primarily on Webull, because that's where I have most of my funds sitting. But I need to get the other account more funded for that flexibility of not just investing, but doing options. But that's something that I need to work on, because I just have I go to certain accounts to fund them on a more regular basis. But if I want to start to do things differently, I have to change my strategy and have a better setup for that.
Now, are you able to transfer crypto off of Webull Pay, or is it through a custodian like Apex Clearinghouse or one of those?
I'm not sure. It's not something that I only have a few, primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I haven't sold any or had any, reason to look into transferring.
Okay. So you're just basically buying hold over there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just like on my regular Webull account where I have my my growth stocks.
It was like once the FTX thing happened and I realized that I just dodged that bullet by like a week, it really put a lot of fear in my heart. I said, well, I got to smarten up, because I had quite a bit of crypto on this exchange. Like, it was more than $1,000. So I'm like, look, I don't want to end up losing just $1,000, and I worked so hard just to accumulate that much on top of regularly buying stocks. Like, I had way more stocks than I do crypto. So that was a very small amount compared to my stocks, and I didn't want to lose that. And I'm glad I needed the cash out when I did, because otherwise it would have still been sitting there, and I would have been $1,000 less rich and would have been having a donkey face to this day. So that's why I'm a strong advocate for transferring your crypto off of the exchange onto a cold storage. Now, certain brokers are more trustworthy because they are insured and they're regulated by the SEC. So trade at your own risk. You got to do what's best for you at the end of the day. But me personally, I'm a strong advocate for not your keys, not your crypto.
Okay. All right. So guys, where do you think Bitcoin will be at the end of 2025? Drop some comments in the chat for us. So now let's move on to point number 2, Prez. And as I was watching the election results, I'm not sure what channel, but it was maybe CSNBC. So I was getting my detail of the election. Prez, why are you grinning like that?
Keep going, because it's like a circus show.
I was watching
with the politics and with the finance world and how they coincide with each other. You got Jerome Powell over here, and you got the president-elect Trump over here talking about kicking Jerome Powell out when he takes
Oh
office. And the
gosh.
way Jerome Powell walked up on that stage the other day, like, yeah, I wish you would try it.
Yeah. I was watching well, let me stay back on track. So I was the channel that I was watching for I was getting my election results right along with the movement of Bitcoin. Everything was on the screen together. I don't know if all the channels were doing that, but the channel I was watching, I was like, "Oh, this is perfect for me," because I was able to see that, which I think I was more interested in because I was kind of like, it is what it is. What happens,
Mhm.
happens. It's out of my control. But oh, Goga. Hi, Goga. Thanks for
Shout
tuning
out to
in.
Goga. Thanks for tuning in.
And thank you, Peachy, for sharing us out. But yeah, okay, on to point two. Just everything is just so intertwined. Point two is Jerome Powell, which Prez just mentioned, lowered the rates by another 0.25%.
Mhm.
The last time around was a 0.5%, right?
Mhm.
So it seemed like it came up so quickly. But can you give us a little
It seemed like just yesterday he was raising them like uncontrolled, out of control. He was raising them every other month, and here we are. We going through the easing cycle. Like basically what he said is we're gonna continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting. He says this every time he gets on the stage and talk. He's looking at the data.
Mm,
As long as the data is coming in and inflation is continuously coming down, and as well as we have a pretty strong labor market on top of that, because now he has not only the job to bring inflation down, but to make sure not too many people lose their job. He wanted some people to lose their jobs, but not everybody. It's crazy how they could think like that, but it really, if you know anything about how the economy works, it almost has to happen. That's why it's very important that you have investments, have that emergency fund, have those other streams of income because you just don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. But anyway, let me make a long story short. He did decide to lower the interest rates down by another 25 basis points. He's still trying to get inflation to his 2% goal. He's not quite there yet.
so yes, the combination of these things, the election results, and finally just giving clarity to uh, who is coming into office next, as
Mhm.
well as this rate cut, has just really impacted the stock market in a positive way. And
Who
thank
is
you.
Jerome Powell? Jerome Powell is the Federal Reserve Chairman, President of the Federal Reserve, and he's pretty much in charge of the country's monetary policy. Now, the Federal Reserve is not a United States government entity, it is a private bank. That's as simple as I can put it to you. It's a private bank that controls, he has more control over our lives than the president does. And we're worried about who's going to get into the White House
Mhm.
when we should be having all focus on Jerome Powell and what he's doing with the monetary policy. Because if he's constantly raising the interest rates, that means the companies is the cost to borrow goes up. Your credit card rates go up. The rate on your high yield savings account also goes up. So that's something that you can take advantage of during the rate hiking cycle. Now, when it starts coming down, you'll start noticing that your savings account is not drawing as much interest as it was because the cost of borrow is now cheaper.
Okay.
Now, when the interest rates are high and we're in an inflationary period, the the large corporations will start laying off jobs. They will start cutting labor. That means if you're one of those, you end up losing your job. So it's always good to stay on top of what he's doing versus what they're doing on Capitol Hill.
Thank you, Prez. Great explanation. I was about to say something. I was like, oh no, Prez is just you was just really explaining it well. For what Peachy was saying, like why is this
Mhm.
person, why is stocks and crypto, getting impacted by what he's doing? So thank you, Sirius, for giving us your estimate of where you think your price prediction for Bitcoin at the end of 2025, 100K.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
let's see. Thank you, Ms. V, for being a member for 4 months. Ms. V was my first official channel member, and I was hers. And let me see. there's something else I wanted to highlight. Thank you, Goga. Yes, I am just a few subscribers away from 4K. So if you are new here and you're not already subscribed, subscribe to my channel if you like what you see, because I want you to come back. I don't want just subscribers around here. I want supporters. So if this is the type of information you like, subscribe to the channel.
Thank you,
Okay.
PG, for being a member for 1 month. Shout out to you. Really appreciate that.
All right. Joyful Julie, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see. Okay. Anything else in the chat that we want to highlight? All right. So, is that all we're going to talk about when it comes to point number 2, the interest rate cuts? I think you really were breaking it down and giving everybody a highlight on what that is doing for us. So our high yield savings accounts are gonna probably come down again. But that's what's gonna happen. And that's why I've been saying, yeah, it's nice to have, and we need to have some cash on hand, but we have to prioritize or make sure we have the right balance for us when it comes to saving and investing, because we all knew, or we should have known, that those high rates, 5% or nearly 5%, were not going to last. And now we're seeing these rates coming down. So in that way, we're going to be kind of negatively impacted where our savings rates are coming down, but positively impacted if you in time need to refinance your home or buy a car or get a new credit card. The rates will be better in that way, as well as what Prez was touching on with companies and corporations and everything around us being able to get lower borrowing costs. That's going to also positively impact us. So let's see. Now on to point 4. Let's see. Any other?
No, we missed Tesla. Tesla just made a new 52-week highs since the election. And
What do you
that's
mean we missed Tesla?
we didn't that was point 3.
I'm sorry. Point number I said the wrong number. I wasn't gonna skip over that one, Prez. Okay. So next up we're gonna talk about Tesla. So go ahead, Prez. Let's get us into our Tesla discussion. Another thing very, very intertwined with the election results, because if you've checked out any of my videos, I've been I've used it twice. There's this video of Elon on stage back at one of Trump's rallies. It was the rally back at the same location where the assassination attempt took place, where Elon joined him, and he's on stage and he's dancing around and he's having a good old time up there with at that time candidate Trump. So yeah, that shows where his affiliation and who he was associating himself with. But what are your thoughts on Tesla stock reaching $1 trillion market cap and how much that stock has thrived over the last few days?
I'm glad I chose to stick with my Tesla investment from day one. I wish I would have bought more. I'm always going to say that when something like this runs up so much, and it's still not too late at the end of the day. I still I cannot go outside and not see a Tesla. Let me see. The Tesla parked right outside right now. You understand what I'm saying? So electric vehicles, I'm not saying that it's going to be 100% electric vehicles in the next 5 or 10 years, but it's slowly but surely moving in that direction. You're seeing more and more, not just Teslas, but you're seeing the other automakers start to follow suit and try to come out with their own versions of electric vehicles. And pretty soon you're going to start seeing more and more charging stations. So why not take advantage of the way that the world is going and capitalize on it? We live in a capitalist society, whether you like it or not. So why not capitalize by becoming a long-term investor?
Sounds good to me. So guys, currently my Tesla position is up 50.81%. So just like Prez, I feel the same. I'm glad I held. We often call it stressla because
Hmm.
it's a more volatile investment. It doesn't move like the other uh blue chip stocks that most of us have chosen, like an Amazon or an Apple. But in time, we see that it was worth holding on to. And what Prez was saying about, I wish I had invested more. I tell you, I hope the day comes where that feeling goes away from me, and I did invest in the way that I think I should have, but I'm still not there. I'm in
I
the
don't
same
think it'll
boat.
ever go away.
I'm I'm still in the same boat with Prez where I wish I had invested more. Amazon, I wish I had more. Apple, Tesla, so many things. Nvidia, I wish I didn't even dollar cost average when it came to Nvidia. I wish January 2nd I said, whatever I have, let me just jump on." But that wasn't my system at the time. But yeah, as I was dollar cost averaging and just seeing the growth, I wish I had gone in sooner. I wish I had
Hmm.
gone in heavier earlier in the year. But you know what? It's okay because I invested and I am where I'm at with my positions now, and that's what matters. But let's see. So anything else on Tesla?
No, I believe that was it. I just wanted to report that we've made new 52 week highs. Tesla has been on a rocket lately since the results of the election, as well as the rest of the entire market. Like, in case you've been living under a rock, or in case you've been distracted by politics, um, if you would have been investing that whole time and focused on your own personal finance versus who's going to be in the White House, you should be significantly positive and unrealized gains right now.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Okay. So someone is sharing that gold and silver should be a must in your portfolio. I do not invest into gold or silver personally. But
It goes to personal preference. It is a good idea to be diversified into other asset classes, whether it be paper assets like your stocks or crypto, or whether it be real estate or physical gold and silver, is or artwork, or precious metals or fine art. I mean, it's always good to be diversified according to your own personal financial needs and goals. It's like some people may like the whole physical gold. Me personally, I'm more so leaning towards stocks and crypto versus some people like more real estate and bonds and things of that nature. I personally don't have the patience to go through all of the hoops of owning real estate. I would like to own it someday, but as of right now, I just don't have the time or patience to deal with everything that comes with owning real estate, the maintenance and finding tenants and things of that nature. I'm just not there just yet. So I have majority of my investments into paper assets, which are stocks.
yes, it's not passive income now. It's like Fred is saying, it's more than just collecting rents. There's a lot
Hmm.
of responsibility there and stress and potential stress, depending on your tenant's behavior, definitely. So, yes, Goga, I'm sure Elon is over there smiling.
Yeah. While he's smiling, I'm looking at my Tesla's position and I'm smiling. It's like I only see red and green. That's the only color that I see nowadays. Red and green.
Mhm. Hi, Trudy. Thanks for tuning in.
True.
Okay. All right. So next up, we're going to talk about Palantir. And I was actually cleaning up my phone and I found that I had Palantir. I had 7 shares of Palantir in my portfolio. It was an old screenshot from years ago. And I must have sold it a long time ago because
Wow.
I didn't even realize I had ever had Palantir in my portfolio. But you know what would have been sad if I had held it since way back then?
Mm-hmm.
My average was about $25 several years ago, and I would have been in the same place very recently when it came to Palantir. So I know you are a current investor into Palantir, and
Mm-hmm.
right now, what it's pushing probably $60, right?
I believe I had it back then too and sold it at a lower price than what I paid for it due to me not knowing what I was doing at the time. And it was the end of the previous bull cycle. I see a comment in here. Trump's last term, the market had 320% drops. How many you think we get this time? Now, as far as I can account for one, and that
Can you
was the
press?
hmm?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You broke up a little bit,
Can you
but I
hear me?
heard you.
Can you repeat that? Because you were sounding okay. You were sounding like that when you were talking. Can you just start from the question again? Because I couldn't hear you. It was kind of
Okay.
inaudible on my side.
It says Trump's last term, the market had 320% drops. How many you think we get this time? Now, as far as one of those drops, I can account for, and that was the scamdemic. Now, that was just something that was inevitable. Now, as far as how many drops do we get this time? Now, I believe looking at the charts, the market is far long overdue for a pullback or some type of correction. Now, how many we get, we just don't know. Only thing we can do is guess, and I don't have an answer for you for that one. What I'm doing, I'm gonna stay consistent. I'm gonna invest as much as I possibly can, and if the market does fall 20%, yeah, I'm gonna try to find even more money to and throw into the market because I already know it goes up way more than it goes down. Those 20% drops, those 10% drops, those I never seen a 30% drop, but you get what I'm saying. Those are times for new investors to potentially enter the market, and it's time for people that's already been investing to get those good companies they already own on sale. It's like you like everything else at a discount. Why don't you like your stocks at a discount, especially if you bought a good company?
Yes. Sale prices. We want everything else on sale. That's what we
Mm-hmm.
always say around here, right, Joe? Yes, we do love a sale. Okay. So Palantir. So they've really they're known for their data analytics, and they are really getting those contracts when it comes to defense and healthcare and different things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
we can see that that is, even though what is it? It's up to currently $58.39. Yeah, we would have loved to get in there when it was $25 or at a lower price. Of course, it's up 42.17% in the last week, but an investment low if that appeals to you. I don't really stress about the stock price, but it's something that I think still has growth potential even if we do get in now. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's on its way up. So,
It was
uh
just added to the S&P 500. On
yes.
top of it, just got a whole lot of brand new contracts from other corporations. To where as
Mhm.
though basically they collect data and they make sense of it for other companies. That's basically what Palantir does.
Yeah, so Trudy's saying the market will pull back, and just like us, she loves a discount. So,
Mm-hmm.
mhm. So, yeah, we have to realize the opportunity in front of us, and we can't jump in and just invest into everything and anything, but
Right.
do your research and think it through. And if you are at all indecisive about, where a position might go, you have the option of using a stop loss, even if it is quote unquote an investment, in order to mitigate any potential risks that you're not willing to take on. So,
Right.
all right. So next up is NVIDIA. As Prez just mentioned, Palantir was the newest addition to the S&P 500 after they did their rebalancing, and the same has just happened with NVIDIA. They are now added to the Dow
Dow
Jones.
Jones. Mm-hmm.
So Prez,
And I believe they replaced Intel.
yes. Yes. And
Now, as far as the NVIDIA dividend is very low right now, but I do feel sometime in the future they will start to increase their dividends. Like you're only getting like 1 penny every 3 months, or 4 cents a year per share that you own. Now, I do feel, although it's so small now, look at Microsoft's dividend. It's steadily growing. It's a small dividend as well, being as though it's a tech company, but you're getting something. It's gonna end up growing, in my opinion, sometime down the line, especially with it being added to the Dow Jones, and everybody wants NVIDIA's technology.
yes, of course, AI is the future. So NVIDIA, I've added NVIDIA into 2 portfolios. I have some in an IRA, and
Hmm.
as well as in one of my taxable accounts, because it is something I really see for the potential growth. Uh, in my Webull account, I'm currently up 61.28%, and I just started to invest into NVIDIA at the beginning of 2024. So,
I have been thinking about adding it to my Roth account. I have been seriously thinking about it. Now that I hear you say it, I'm leaning towards it even more. I really love the company. It's now the largest company in the United States that's publicly traded by market cap. It still has a lot more room to grow. So many companies they're doing business with. I believe Tesla is one of them. Um, the computer that I'm currently using has NVIDIA software or hardware inside of it. So I like to own what I consume at the end of the day. And look out, Apple.
yeah, so Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA have been at their battle back and
Hmm.
forth over the last few months of who's gonna be in that number 1 spot when it comes to the largest market cap of these Fortune 500 companies or top US companies, however you wanna put it. So, let's see. Alright, so those are our main topics of the day. So, guys,
Hmm.
do you have any questions? What are your thoughts on what has occurred? Um, how is your portfolio looking overall? What is the biggest? I would say I because Webull splitting between the Webull and the Webull Pay. I think I might have invested more into Bitcoin if they hadn't done that, because before they did that, I was seeing everything together. Now I have to
Hmm.
go between the 2. I do most of all of everything, as far as my investing, I do and doing my option trades, I do it from my phone. Prez, I think you're the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We
I can I use multiple different apps for different purposes. Basically, I do keep my stocks and crypto separate. Have I ever had them all on one platform? No, I've never had them all on one platform. But that's something I've always wanted to keep separate. What happened on Friday? I had to take care of some business on Friday, and when I went to the place, I had to end up going back tomorrow. So you guys won't see me again until Wednesday morning. Sorry, it's unfortunate, but I need to take care of what I need to take care of for me personally so that I can continue to move forward, get out of this life's hole that I've been pushed in. Um, yeah,
Okay. So no show. So we can expect a live stream on Wednesday and Friday potentially?
yes.
Okay. All right. So guys, check out Prez the Investor 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday and Friday
Mhm.
this week. So let's see. Okay, so I was saying about the two sites now with the Webull splitting the crypto over to the other site. Of course, I'm going to be thinking like this now when Bitcoin is thriving, but I was getting over there on a pretty regular basis and
Mhm.
and dollar cost averaging. But out of all of my individual investments, Bitcoin is up the highest. Nvidia is currently number 2. Um, but as I said, I'm glad that I stayed consistent and have so many good, solid ETFs and blue chip stocks that are really thriving in my portfolio. If there are the few things that are not, are so heavily outweighed by the good, and they happen to be a lower percentage because I guess I already knew that they were not investments that I wanted to go that heavily into. So overall, when you build a portfolio like that, you're going to have the stability and the growth over time and not have any worries or stress.
That is correct.
One thing I'm kind of surprised is that the DJT Donald Trump media stock is really didn't take off. It's kind of it
It's
came
basically a
down.
meme stock. The company itself, if you go into the financials of it, is a trash company. I
Mhm.
mean, sorry to put it that way, but the truth is the truth. I'd rather tell you what you need to hear than versus what you want to hear. You'll get a lot of hype and attention through other content creators on this particular company, but it's a trash company at the end of the day. It'll run up and the traders will take profit. The institutions will take profit, and if you don't know what you're doing and you're jumping into these fast moving cars, you're going to be left holding the bag. And you're going to be in the comments like, what do you think DJT is going to do? I told you what it's going to
Mhm.
do. It's probably going to zero. I mean, I don't mean to be so blunt, but I'd rather tell you how it is than how it might be.
Okay. Listen, be blunt. Tell us, Russ.
It
Okay.
probably will go to zero. A lot of these hype stocks will end up going to zero. A lot of these cryptocurrencies will end up going to zero. So do your research. Take baby steps. Don't be trying to put your whole life savings into something because you heard or they said that it's going to the moon tomorrow. It's like
Yeah, I'm not
learn
trying.
from my mistakes, learn from Lisa's mistakes. Like we have been transparent enough to tell you like it don't work the way you hear about that it's working, or that you see on social media that it don't work like that. You have to take baby steps. You have to first take those precautions to make sure that you don't have to sell your investments prematurely. Don't be that person. It feels I'm trying to think of a nice word to use. Y'all know what word I'm using. It makes you feel when you have to sell your investments prematurely because you need the money. So be sure to at least, if you haven't started investing yet and you don't have an emergency fund, get that emergency fund funded and don't touch it and then start investing.
All right. Prez, Prez keeps it G-rated on the Sunday show with Miss Lisa. So if you guys don't know, you might get a little bit of a different Prez on Wednesday morning when he's not up there with me. But thank you so much, Miss Frugal, for the super stickers and for being a channel member.
Yes,
So
thank you.
shout out to Miss Frugal for being the sponsor of today's show. Let me we are man, I'm telling you, I'm over here struggling with the StreamYard, struggling with the StreamYard. Let's see. Oh, I got it. I thought StreamYard was acting up again.
Thank you so much. We do greatly appreciate it.
All right, back to the show. So let's take a look and see if there's any comments or let me also just give a quick shout out to everybody. Curvy, Miss Frugal, Benny Blanco, again, Peachy for being awesome supporters and sharing us out. I appreciate your support. So why not? Said they sold their Tesla and they have to get back in.
Just be prepared if you do get back in now. Just be prepared for it to pull back, potentially pull back. It's already run. It's over $300 already, and just last week it was at what 250, 230 or something like that. The last time I looked at it, I didn't even look at Tesla. I didn't even know it had made new 52-week highs until last night, I believe, because I've been not in the market like I was during the summer. So,
So why not said he sold at 265. Okay. So Prez, we have a stock here. If you're taking down any shows that you're doing later this week.
take a simple while with you. I will take a look
I'm
at
not
it and give you
familiar
my
with that
thoughts.
one. Let's see. And any questions that we missed in the chat? I'm trying to take a look. So guys, thank you for chatting and for tuning in. So Nija is saying that one of her students said her grandpa has been investing into NVIDIA since 2016.
Wow. I know he way. I know. Wow. Jeez.
Grandpa has it going on.
Where was NVIDIA back in 2016? I'm looking at the chart behind the scenes.
I don't know what age kids she teaches over there, but this is what her student told her. Okay. So yeah, we are probably going to be having a bit of a pullback, but when that happens, that's okay. We do our research, we make our plan, and then from there, we have these weeks and these time periods where our portfolio is flourishing.
Okay, so
As
back in 2016, NVIDIA was about I'm factoring in the stock split. I reversed it. So
Okay.
NVIDIA was about $33.20 before the split. This was back in 2016. So after the split, if you would have bought just one share back then, each share would be the price will be, your average cost would be $3.32 after the split. But you would have much more shares. You would have 10 shares instead of that one share. That's a hell of a gain. From $3 all the way up to $150. Sheesh.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Wish I could take a sneak peek at Grandpa's portfolio. So Nija teaches 8th grade, so that's probably around a 13 or 14-year-old that came and shared that with her. So I hope that they are interested in investing. If they're having those type of conversations with Grandpa, maybe, Grandpa has a nice portfolio put aside for them too and is teaching them, which is awesome. That's what I want to hear, is that young people are learning. So, let's see. I saw someone said they wanted to ask a question. Ronnie, if you're still here, shoot your question, but we're about to wrap up because Prez has to get to work this evening. So our shows are probably going to be about 45 minutes on Sundays. And I think, but sometimes, our schedules do change up. But guys, just make sure that you are subscribed and you hit that notification bell so that you can keep updated with all of our upcoming videos and live streams that we do put out. And let me take a look and see.
I'll do an update on OKLO. I still have it on the list here. I just haven't gotten around to getting the update done. I do apologize for that, but I will be getting on top of it. Did I even do a video on OKLO before? I believe I covered it before, but I should do an update on it.
All right. Sounds good. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to leave us any questions or comments on this video, what your thoughts are about the current state of the economy, of the stock market, potential things that you would like us to cover in the future. And thank you so much for tuning in. Let's take a look. I didn't quite make it. I am at 3,998 subscribers. So maybe by next week, I will be able to update my Nightbot to say on the road to 5,000 subscribers instead of 4,000. But Prez, can you end us for this week and give us some closing words for today?
Thank you all for tuning in. If you have not gotten started yet, what are you waiting for? And if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die.
Bye.